Here we go with the big reveal. Well, whatever, kinda. Here's the working Ryzen build. Like I say, it's in the last video, it's not finished. Still got some things to do with it. Getting ready to give a whirl at World of Warships, I believe. I'm gonna try that game out and see how it looks and everything. First time I've done everything RGB. Like I say, this is the Corsair 570X case. I've got the other glass panels back there, trying to keep them behind pillows and safe, and we've got kittens running around here knocking shit over, so I figured over there hiding behind pillows was the best bet. But here is my new Ryzen system. That is my background there. So far, it's about the coolest one I found so far. I saved a bunch of them, and it looks good for right now. But as far as this goes, I just got the LEDs kinda. Well, what I was doing was seeing the variances in LED colors, because oh, and there's what I did with the stock AMD cooler. I took it off the heatsink, and using it as an exhaust fan, it may or may not stay there. But originally, with the new kind of orange color for Ryzen, I was kind of going to do a orange and black build. So I've got orange and black sleeve cables. However, LEDs interpret colors very differently. So we could see with the AMD cooler, it's purple slash kind of UV is a little bit different than the Fantex purple. The purple back there on the board is similar to the Fantex. I think they're close to about the same LED. That LED, that's the interpretation of purple for that one, which is more of a blue really than purple. The trace lighting over here is a really light pink. You could kind of say I guess you could say it's purple, but it's really light. Whereas the other LEDs here are more of a deep purple. And the Gigabyte LED, that's pretty close. And of course the LEDs and the Corsair fans, I mean, they're all cool. For the most part, they're close. The ring on the fan is a little light. The trace down there is light. And that motherboard logo that you can't see with this big ass graphics card in here anyway is not quite the right purple. But purple was just mainly because of the UV effect, really, with the way the light, well, it's hard to see with the phone, but this purple kind of is like a UV and kind of makes the cables glow a bit, you know, kind of like blacklight. But, and it's hard to see back there, but that the logo on the IO shield back there is kind of like that and has its own interpretation of color. So I am not, come on, focus. I have not fully figured out exactly what I'm going to go for now with all this, because like I say, I was going to do like an orange and black originally, but unless you buy just full on orange LEDs, these cannot get orange. They are more like a yellow color. They're really not orange. So, and there ain't no way in hell I'm gonna change almost $100 worth of custom sleeve cables for that. So I'm just, taking it as a go here. Let's see. Let's turn those just on. And instead there they go. Takes a second to take the hint there, I guess. Can do red. Now it's hard to see because I'm on a damn phone, but that's right in there is about the orange, and that's what we get. We get really like yellow. It's not orange. So, which actually the LED on the damn AMD fan is actually quite orange. That is surprising. But none of the rest of them can do that. The LEDs on the fans on the front of the case with the Corsair controller have a preset orange, and it's a little bit lighter orange than what the cables are, but it is orange. But as you can see, these LEDs, the Fantech strips really don't hit orange, and it's not just them. The LEDs on the motherboard cannot really hit orange either. I'm going to change the motherboard logo behind the graphics card, and bam, it's still doing a random flasher thing here. Let me no animate. And as you see, that is, to me, I don't think I'm colorblind, but that is yellow. That is not orange. So, and really that's that's about what you get. Yeah, I know, it's shaky and probably giving you a headache, but this is the best I got because I'm not spending $1 bazillion on camera shit. But yeah, that's their interpretation of orange, and I can't. I mean, I can actually do. I just set it to yellow, and that's what it got. So turn them off for a second. That is the motherboard logo is yellow, and that's orange, and that's an even deeper orange. Now we're getting into red, and it really isn't getting orange or however you word that. And we're starting to get a little bit more orange, but it's just not. It may be because it's light and brighter, but it's not quite. And they're getting closer to red, and it's here in a second. It's gonna turn red. But yep, see, there it goes. Now it's red. I mean, it almost has it, but it's just, and I've fiddled with the color wheel and the slider bar. Oh, that looks grainy as hell. But yeah, I've adjusted and I messed with and I've done all that, and no such luck really hitting. And I got this little case of OCD, and it's probably the problem that, it's not hitting the orange really that I want to try to get to. So it does have a lot to do with my preferences and how I think colors should look. But yeah, it's just not quite getting there to me. It's just not hitting the orange color. I don't know. I've actually gotten a little bit closer now that I'm only using the color wheel instead of the slider. That's kind of like a more of a deep yellow, a light colored deep yellow that is nowhere near the orange. And see, that's kind of an orange, but it's starting to burn the red LEDs a lot more, so you're starting to get more of a red effect. And yeah, I'll just say that's probably going to go too far and turn them all red. So it's a work in progress. I mean, it's surprisingly though, that freaking AMD fan is actually hitting the color quite well. I took the whole fan apart and looked. It's a little LED strip in there, just like these Fantech strips. I'm sure there's different kinds and qualities of LEDs, but it's actually, see, like now, it's hard to tell on the camera phone here, but that is like a really, really deep orange, damn near red. And that's what I'm getting with those LEDs. Like I say, the AMD fan there is actually pretty good on the color. Now I've lightened it up. Now that's pretty much yellow on Fantech strips, but the AMD fan is actually a pretty good orange. That's almost an orange that matches the cables. But it's, it just has to do with the LEDs, what kind they are, and how big or small they are, what kind of light intensity comes out of them. It's, and so many different, there's probably 10 different types of LEDs throughout this system. I'm sure each manufacturer uses their own different LEDs. And there's a little Hellion right there. That's probably going to jump up and get in my way, but the Mystic Light control panel here is really not too bad. I've been experimenting with it, and so far been it's easy to use. I'm not getting the color that I want. And there's an orange that's not too bad on those LEDs back there, but those are pretty close to, I think, what's in the fan. And the Fantech strips are, I don't know, I think maybe the difference is the size, because the Fantech strips LEDs are definitely bigger than the strip that goes around that fan and the LEDs on the board. And I imagine what's in the motherboard logo behind the video card there, pretty good size LEDs too. But that's probably about what the deal is. Has to do with the size of them and intensity. But I sit here and ramble all day about the damn colors of them and make no difference. So, but here it is. Like I say, it's not fully finished and still got plenty to do. Get some more fans. I got to get some fans for the top up there. I was gonna get 3 120s, 2 at the top, 1 on the back, but I got kind of redneck ingenuity or whatever and took that stock AMD heatsink apart, put the fan on there. That white LED on it is really bright. Doesn't quite, I mean, I guess it kind of matches the beast card there, but it's I don't know. I might go ahead and get a 3-pack of Corsair SP120 RGB fans is what they are, and just go ahead and put a 120 back there. Then again, I might just have an extra fan, leave the AMD fan back there. But anybody wondering what that inside of that stock Wraith Spire cooler looks like, that's what it looks like. I don't know if it's gas filled and that's a tube crimped over from filling it with a heat transfer gas. I'd imagine that's probably what it is, but yeah, that's the Wraith. I don't know, whatever comes with the 1700 there. This the Wraith Spire. Yeah, because the Stealth is the little one, and the Spire, and then you got the Wraith Max, which is the big one. It's a little bit bigger than that fan, and it's got 2 RGB rings on it because it's like specialer. So, and I've gone way too long in this video again. I've got to get in here and do some game testing on this thing. I did a burn-in last night for well over an hour. Since, yeah, let me get into a quick technical here. With IDA 64, I watched some videos of guys trying to hit 4.0 and 4.1 and running the IDA 64 and within 3 to 5 minutes having a hardware error and shutting down. Some guys have overclocked, and which I've had it happen too, where your overclock ain't stable. You boot into Windows, click to like open CPU-Z or something, and it's unstable, and it just boot, black screen. I mean, it doesn't give you a blue screen and then reboot. It just dies. Blah. Doesn't do shit. You gotta pull the cord out of the power supply or hold the power button, shut it down that way, and reboot. But after all my tinkering, I've got it. I guess I can bring this up real quick. The regular CPU-Z will probably be easier to see since the LSI version is dark. But, and I don't know how well this will. But, and it's probably, yeah, it's not going to show up. Yeah, there it goes. It's zoomed in a little bit. 1.375. I think I typed in 1.38 and the board said, no sir, this is what I'm going to do, screw you. So, but it's perfectly stable.